Wow, it's been a long time, not to be back at Eastbourne, but to be on a rostrum at the POA conference. Just to give you a quick resume of who I am, I joined the prison service in 1971. That was 54 years ago. Makes me feel rather old. I spent a year, the training, going back to some of the conference motions we've had on today, and the last couple of days. The training was a month at Horfield Jail for me in Bristol, 2 months at Ley Hill Officers Training School, and then my first posting was Maidstone, and I spent 2 years there. Luckily, when I went there, prisoners decided to go on the roof, so it was a bit of a baptism of fire. But I moved from there to Latchmere House, Remand Centre, no longer there. It's now multi-million-pound houses. And I was branch chairman there. I moved from there on promotion to Wandsworth, to senior officer. Lots of you won't recognise the grades I'm going to talk about. I recently saw a programme on Wandsworth, which is a place I hold very dear, and absolutely frightened me to death. But then I recalled, so I went there 30 years ago, and the first thing I did, I was the junior SO, although I had 16 years service, I was a junior SO, so that was my job in the bathhouse. So I went down there. I'd never seen anything like it in my life. So I went to the POA rep, health and safety rep, said, right, what we're going to do, we tried for years. We just cannot do anything. So I said, well, we've got to. So I went down the bathhouse and I shut it down. End of story. Went to the chief, said, right, what we're going to do now? We've got no bathhouse, because it was dire. The rats were like cats. Category A prisoners diving away from them, hiding up on the seats. So they did some minor changes. So at least while I was there, I could see my staff. They weren't all in steam and everything. I could see prisoners. So just staying on Wandsworth for a minute, there will be people in this room that will remember the Wandsworth lockout. And that lasted 10 days. They locked us out of the jail. I was the branch chairman. I was still a senior officer. And we eventually got back to work, and not on the terms that they locked us out for. I mean, it was a totally contrived dispute. There's no two ways about that at all. And so we continued. I continued as branch chairman. I then went, I was promoted at Wandsworth. So the grades I did at Wandsworth was senior officer, principal officer, governor 5, and governor 4. And just to put Watton's mind at rest, I was not a governor who lied through his teeth or did anything like that. I supported staff, as that was why I was there, as far as I was concerned. And I think if I'd have done anything differently, I would not have been given the Cronin clasp in 1998 or honorary life membership in whatever date it was, I can't remember. But so things were not easy. And I listened yesterday to Jennifer, about discrimination and bullying. And it wasn't, basically the reason it took me I didn't join this job to get to become a governing governor at all. I didn't end up a governing governor, but I joined because I wanted to make a difference to people's lives. And it wasn't a coincidence that the reason it took 16 years to get onto that first rung was because I was the branch chairman of the POA. That was made perfectly clear to me by lots and lots of people who were in the know. So I then went to Highdown. They changed the process slightly, where you were in that grade, but you still had to go to other prisons of your choice to have an interview. So I went to Highdown because basically I didn't think there was any other prisons that would want to touch me at all. And I met the governing governor, so I presume there'll probably be 3 or 4 on the panel, and he was on his own. And I said, "Does anybody else come in, Bryan, Governor?" He said, no, it's just me and you. So I said, "Oh, okay." So he said, "There's nothing I don't know about you. I know all about your POA connections, what you've done, and I've just got one question for you." And I thought, oh, here we go again. When are you going to leave the POA? But that wasn't the question. The question was, what day can you start? So he was somebody who put a lot of trust in me. I'm not sure, from what I've heard in the last 2 days, that there are still people like that running jails. I hope there are, but I'd be surprised if there are, from what I'm hearing. So the first thing I did, I was the duty governor, get told we've got to go to Wormwood Scrubs because they're out in the car park. So all the governors got ordered to go there. So I put up my hand and said, well, no way I'm going there. So I didn't go. And I ran the prison instead. I ran Highdown Prison instead. And that's the way I operated my whole service. I was only able to do that, well, firstly, because I had the bottle to do it. But secondly, it was the support I had from people like yourselves, the National Committee, at home, my wife, who is somewhere in the hall. And so that's me. So we go back to the business then. So it's such a pleasure to be here to give the fraternal address on behalf of the Honorary Life members. So I think there are 8 of us here this year. There are many more at home. Some can't get here. Others got a variety of reasons why they can't be here. But we all keep a keen interest in what's going on in this union and within the service. It's absolute, I mean, the strap line is brilliant. It's how the prison service have ended up in the state they're in, I have no idea. But it won't get any better until the conditions are improved for staff and prisoners to ensure that everybody feels safe. And I just hope that all of you keep coming to conference. The standard of debate has been, excuse me, rather dry. The standard of debate has been excellent. Some of the items have been around for years. The polo shirts and combat trousers, I think It may have been John Gunning about 30 years ago first raised that, I think, from Felton. But these things keep on coming up, and it's right that they do. It's right that you come to conference and you have your say, and you make those deliberations and formulate POA policy in that way. There are a number of things that I could say. I could talk for a long time up here, but I'm not going to, because I know that time is very, very important, and we've got lots of motions left to do. So, from me, on behalf of all the Honorary Life members, thank you so much for the invite from the NEC. You always treat us very, very well, and we're thankful for that. And but the other thing I would say is, when I went to Highdown, I decided not to continue being a branch official. And I met the committee there. They knew who I was. And I said, look, I'm not going to stand for any office, but I do expect you to come knock in my door for any advice you want, and I will give it. I had represented lots and lots of people over my service and got some really good results. It's just such a shame that we haven't got or you haven't got an employer that respects what you do and who you are. On that basis, I say thank you all so much. God bless you all. Stay safe, and hope to see you again.